Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood is your man Theo Butler. We are in here. I apologize. I am 2 minutes late. I am. I was the wife had cooked something real nice, and I was in there, making sure I had my stomach full and everything like that. Great deep dive by my brother Daryl earlier today. Had a deep dive. Be real with D real. Talk some not Conan Thunder. Don't do that. Thunder the Barbarian and Blackly. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. I think we got a great show today. I do. First of all, I hope you're doing good. I do. I hope you're doing good. If you had to work today, I hope you off. If you had to work today, I hope you off, and I hope it was a great day where you were. If you had to work, I'm hoping you was off, though. I'm hoping you was off. You was able to enjoy the great day. That said, I think we got a great show. It's been a lot going on this week. It has. We still in dealing. No, we're not stealing. We're not. Still dealing with remnants, afterthoughts, the effects of DC So White. Yeah, we're dealing with that. New York Knicks, right? Up 2-1 on the San Antonio Spurs. Somebody showed up at game 3. That's gonna be funny. Yeah. What else we got? What else we got in the comic book world, the superhero landscape? Yeah. Let me see. Let me put my reading glasses on. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Oh yeah. I've been on Twitter. Not Twitter. That's a lie. Let me stop that. All I do is post on Twitter. No, I've been on TikTok and having some. I don't. You know what? Y'all, those that be on TikTok more so than I do in regards to pulling up on lives in which comic books are the primary conversation, superhero, y'all got to tell me how that go. And the reason why I say that is because based on the lives that I'm having, I'm a breath of fresh air is what I'm getting. I'm a breath of fresh air. Not only am I also a breath of fresh air, it's almost like what they wasn't really getting no Black Panther knowledge before I pulled. It's either folks wasn't dropping Black Panther knowledge over there on social media, or folks just wasn't keeping up with it. Either way, we're gonna get good. I came across an article in regards to Ryan Coogler and the relationship between him and Chadwick Boseman. You know what? I think we're Generation X and baby boomers, while we will fact check, research stuff and everything like that, that's not necessarily our first mindset. In essence, we got to think you lying first before we do that. But that information sit right there. But the fact that we keep coming across brand new information, it ain't even brand new, it's old. That other folk that younger than us that had so much to say about mantles and other Black Panthers and nothing shouldn't be recast. They younger. They younger. And I'm starting to feel like young folk ain't pressed to know what they talking about before they just start talking. I don't, but then again, I can't even say that. Because we got Donald Trump talking about Stephen A. Smith. Oh Lord Jesus, my head hurt every time Just give me a minute. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Speaking of Trump, what's up with the Esptein files? Because I know we got him and Stephen A. Smith. We got UFC 225, whatever we want to call that, and everything like that. Then they didn't start the war with Iran again and everything like that. Like, we just keep getting further and further and further away from the Esptein files to the Esptein files don't even make the news cycle no more. And I'm like, oh, it's got to be some juicy stuff in them daggum files. Like, I want to know more so now than I want to know 6 months who's in it, because everybody and their mama cool with us just keep diverting. Like, don't talk about it now, come up with something else. What else we gonna come up with? He gonna go to the New York Knicks game, make that headline news. Him going to the New York Knicks game is gonna trump the Esptein files? Yeah, go with me. No. I still the Esptein file. Yeah. Which Black Panther affected slavery? Yeah, we're gonna jump into that right there. It sat on my mind last night. I said, which Black Panther? Because we've been talking about that. We've been talking. Right. That's been something on our mind. I asked ChatGPT. Let me just say this. For those who feel threatened by AI, don't. You're forgetting who created AI. You did. You don't know every damn thing. And you're gonna put that information into AI. That's what happened when you know what you know. You can look at the AI and be like, "Ooh, you don't know what you're doing." See, if you know how to make a quarter pounder with cheese and everything like that, and the person who programmed the AI don't know how to make a quarter pounder with cheese, they're gonna get your quarter pounder with cheese wrong. So all this being threatened by AI, you need to remember who created AI. Flawed humans. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. What else we got here? Hasbro, Marvel and G.I. Joe classified fan stream reveals. They running out of ideas. I wasn't wild. I wasn't wild at all. I wasn't even overwhelmed. I was like I ain't get all jittery on the inside. I ain't get the warm fuzzies. We're gonna talk about it. Do you have a favorite or least favorite toy line? I mean, we are nerds. I did get asked that question over there on TikTok. I think that's a fair question. We're gonna talk about it. Black nuances in comics. What many boycott supporters missed. The more and more I hear educated people speak on this topic that aren't Black. You see what I just did? Because it ain't that many Black folks gonna speak on it like they supposed to. They not. Some gonna be some lying just to be lying. But those that aren't Black, I think that it's something to be said about being a part of the culture as opposed to just speaking for the culture. Because you gonna be happy. Never mind. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. A Debryne photo shoot. Yeah. Shout out to my brother KG Green and everything. Hopefully it means what it means. Hopefully it means what it's supposed to a movement. And last but not least, the Rock With Me Nation, a diabolical masterpiece. Yeah. That's what we got going on. We're gonna go ahead. We see we got 4. We see we got 4. You know what? I'm good with that. We don't need. Oh, we got 6. There we go. We got 6. Let me pull on up. My brother D Real, like I said, did have his deep dive. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. We are going to go through and greet folks because it's 6:40. I don't. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. If you don't do nothing else, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Who we got in here? We got Kimoyo King, not tell him. We got Kimoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group, and the lovely Grand Madam Tarot, or as I like to refer to her as the Queen Mother. Yeah, that's what we do over here. It's Queen Mother. Yeah, we in here. we gonna start this thing the way I started it before I came in here on the live. I was talking to my wife. She's over there on TikTok and everything like that. And I was like, so Stephen A. Smith, Donald Trump, they beefing. Stupid is and stupid does, and stupid is. The amount of stupidity on display between the two of them is wild. It's wild to me. So let me see if I got this right. Because it's too easy. Like I told my wife, I would think that bald people would be more intelligent than other folks because there's got to be a trade-off to you going bald, right? And with his hairline starting all the way back here, I would like to think that Stephen A. Smith I would like to think that he has an above average IQ. But no, Stephen A. Smith is the epitome of stupidity. But then again, so is the dude he beefing with. They both dumb. They both dumb. They both stupid. what's wowing me, I can't even say wowing because we saw this coming. We saw this train wreck coming a mile down the road. Stephen A. Smith, Generation X, baby boomers, y'all come here. Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute? What would we say about Stephen A. Smith when it comes to Donald Trump? Damn, bro, get off his jock. Damn, bro, stop. You know what I mean? What we do with the lollipops. Yeah, that right there. Like, bro, that's what we would say. The younger folks say glazing. This dude has spent damn near Donald Trump's entire second term glazing this dude. If I didn't know any better, I would swear Donald Trump was a dadgum donut and Stephen A. Smith worked at Krispy Kreme as one of the workers there responsible for making that dude got glazed. Like oh Lord Jesus. He chastised Jasmine Crockett. He chastised black women. He chastised veterans. He chastised black people. Lord, my goodness, who Stephen A. Smith ain't chastised on behalf of Donald Trump? Just for this dude to say you got a low IQ. For the dude to say essentially you're stupid. You know how that's got. How do you get called stupid by somebody damn near everybody know is stupid? Well, I guess two peas in a pod. You know, the pot calling the kettle. I guess stupid is and stupid does. I guess that is a true statement. You got to be stupid to recognize stupidity. Lord have mercy. I just want both of them to go away. I want one to leave ESPN and I want one to leave our office. I want one to leave ESPN and I want the other one to leave the United States government. You got the two stupidest men in it. See, there we go right there. Stupid ain't a white thing. It's not exclusive to white folks. I know some black folks would like to make you feel that way, but no, it's not. And stupidity ain't exclusive to black folk. No, I know some white folk would like to make you feel that way, but no, that ain't what that is. Stupidity is an equal opportunity. That's what that is. Anybody can be stupid. That's what everybody. Here we go. If you don't like white folk or you don't like black folk, Stephen A. Smith and Donald Trump should be the epitome, the perfect example of letting you know when it comes to being stupid, it ain't got nothing to do with race. The only folks that can say something in this is it ain't got nothing to do with women. Women are the only ones who can say this ain't got nothing to do with us. But men, black men, white men, stop acting like you can't be stupid. There are two examples right there. Two examples of stupidity. Oh my Lord, that's boy. Look, this should be confusing to any Donald Trump supporter because I know up until now every Donald Trump supporter was down with Stephen A. Smith. If you weren't down with Stephen A. Smith, it was for obvious reasons. But no, you was agreeing with what Stephen A. Smith was agreeing with because he was agreeing with what Donald was doing. Boy, you got to be conflicted right now. Meanwhile, in Gotham, the same folk who thought Donald Trump was stupid are the same folk that think Stephen A. Smith is stupid. And I wish both of them would just leave. ESPN, can y'all hurry up and hire Ryan Clark? Can y'all hurry? I can't tell the United States government what to do because clearly it's a lot of it's more than enough names on the Esptein files. That's all I'm taking away from this and everything like that. When we finally do release the files, we gonna know why it took so long. When we finally release the files, we're gonna like, oh, that's why it took so long. And if we think it's a game, Grand Madam Tarot got a reading for you. Sure do. All we got to do is ask Grand Madam Tarot, is it more than will we be surprised by the names that's on the Epstein? Will we be surprised by the number of names and who and the names themselves on the Epstein file? Grand Madam Tarot gonna do that reading. I promise you, she's gonna be like, yep, that's what that is. Everybody named mama on the Esptein file. When I say everybody named mama, I mean everybody named mama. You need to know it's some women on the Esptein file. You need to know it's some white men on the Esptein file, but you know that already. It's some black men on the Esptein file. It's some red men on the Esptein file. It's some brown men. It's some yellow folks on the Esptein file. You just need to know it's more than enough folks on it. It's journalists on the Esptein file. It's politicians on the Esptein files. It's lawmakers on the Esptein file. It's rappers on the Esptein files. It's actresses on the Esptein file. It's singers on it. It's everybody in, oh Lord Jesus. It's husband and wife tandems on the Esptein file. It's brothers and sister tandems. It's father and daughter, mama and son tandems. Because you see how they moving. Just look at how they moving. Just look at how they move. This remind me of the Untouchables. They was in the courtroom. Elliot was looking at stuff. He was like, this. He said, you know what? I need to talk to the judge. Let me holler at the judge. Yeah. He just went in there. Hey. Bada bing, bada boo. The judge ain't even risk it. I know I'm quoting the movie. I see what I'm saying. I know I'm quoting the movie. I ain't finna quote it like it's real. Unlike our president. Really? So you do not know that the dude from the Hannibal movies wasn't real? You think Hannibal Lecter is a real person? The character. Well, that's a and folks voted this dude in the office. Folks voted that dude. You know, that's like me believing T'Challa real. You see what that's like? That's like me believing T'Challa real, as if I don't know no better. Oh Lord Jesus. Anyway, yeah. Judge ain't even take no chances. He said, yeah, y'all check, y'all, yeah, switch it over. Just the mere thought that his name could have been on it, he was like, I'm not even finna do that. Well, you got quite a few people doing that same thing in real time. If they think they name in the Esptein files, you know, you could have just did right. You could have just did right. You could have waited till folks turned 21. You could have the fact that we got cats like Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly, man and woman, sitting up there talking about where they weren't that young. What you talking? Well, what? So you and R. Kelly is locked up for this right now. R. Kelly is literally locked up for this right now, messing around with minors. And we knew what the cutoff age was, right? Meanwhile, we got Joe Rogan, Megyn Kelly being still taken credible today. Seriously, sitting up here waffling. They're not the only ones waffling with that. R. Kelly is literally locked up for that. It's crazy because Jerry Lee Lewis didn't get punished for it. Elvis Presley didn't get punished for it. Even we don't mind with ours, do we? We don't mind with ours. We don't mind with ours. Meanwhile, they will vote theirs in the presidency. Lord Jesus have mercy. No lies detected. You can be mad at what I just said, but I ain't lying. Grandma say they moving them Argentina. I can believe it. That's gonna be the new island. That's gonna be the new setup right there. What she cooked? I had some steak. Not telling he who asked difficult questions. I had me some steak. I did not know that I like fried cabbage. I didn't know that. Like I didn't know that would be something that I would say yes to, but I had that. Mashed potatoes, steak, and fried cabbage. I ate good. I ate good. Grandma say they're gonna be moving to Argentina. So I'm ashamed. Let me just say this as an American citizen, I'm ashamed at the not that we're being stupid, but the fact that we're being publicly stupid. Like I don't like the world roasting us. I don't like being the butt of the world's jokes and everything. And seem like everybody is having fun at our expense. Russia, China, like forget going to war with anybody. Kendrick and Drake went to war, and that wasn't no war. And right now America is looking very Drakish. The world is looking more and more like Kendrick, and we looking very, very Drakish. And I don't like that. Like I'm just telling you right now, I don't like to lose. And I don't like looking bad. I don't like making myself look bad, let alone looking bad because of somebody else. And right now, I'm in my feelings. You see me clutching my pearls? Yeah, I don't like what we got going on right now. I don't. I'm tired of people doing diss tracks on us and everything. What the hell? We invented rap. They got countries rap dissing us on rap tracks. Let me keep up with these notes and everything. I appreciate y'all pulling up. We're gonna round the block. I just need to get that up off my chest. I did, because I'm tired of being embarrassed. Moving right along, the next topic and everything kind of combined. Got a 2-for-1 special with that one. Black Panther transparency. Is that a word? Did I say that right? Transparency. Been pulling up on TikTok lately to grow the brand, grow the knowledge, right? For the past few weeks now. That's what that is. You know, don't go in there with all that raw energy and everything like that. You know, folks pull up. You know, if you got it, your title, you know, your live title right and everything like that, folks pull up. Past few weeks, I actually went over a stat over there on TikTok. And I've learned something while being on TikTok, realized something, noticed something. Folks aren't that knowledgeable when they come to Black Panther. They aren't, which is crazy because 1.3 billion. Like, let's be clear, 1.3 billion. Then everybody had something to say about the recast, right? Everybody had something to say about 1943, Rise of Hydra, right? Everybody had something to say about the lies of Wakanda. I'm sorry, eyes of Wakanda. Everybody had something to say about that. Everybody had something to say about Black Panther 2, Shuri, Tosin. Everybody has so much to say. Right. I'm willing to bet it's way more people that's got an opinion that's got actual knowledge, which is crazy because I would have liked to have thought that the spokespeople, the guide-ons, if you will, and those that are fellow veterans like myself, you know what that is. If not, those would be people carrying the flag, the torch, if you will, for the anti-recasters, for the mantlers, right? They're not growing the knowledge. Now, I noticed something over here with the Rock With Me Nation. We've been growing and everything like that. More and more people are coming on, but shout out to my brother Dora. One of the things we talked about was knowledge being the key. Educate folks, because if we educate them, they'll see there's a difference and they'll be like, nah, I want this on over here. For me and Dora to have that initial mindset in 2021, that means we had to have seen there was a lane that was empty. That's one thing to see that lane empty and you can pull over in that lane and everything, and you can see you really the only one in that lane driving, but you still be amazed the further down the road you go that it ain't nobody in that lane with you. Because what you're looking for is you're looking for a sharing of knowledge. You're looking for a consistent sharing of knowledge. And it's 2026. And as I found out today, and I've been finding out while being on TikTok, is the knowledge of T'Challa, all things Black Panther, wasn't grown after 2018. It wasn't. And that's got me looking at some folks sideways. That's got me looking at some folks sideways because I'm growing my numbers, thus growing the awareness of all things Black Panther Wakanda related just by sharing knowledge. This knowledge ain't new. But the Black Panther experts that predate me and Daryl, they old. They've been out there. And I ain't talking about how old they are. No, they've been out there. So I'm looking at, what were you doing? What were you doing when Black Panther came out in 2018? What did you do? And those that were active on social media before I got here, please feel free to chime in, because I don't want to say I'm shocked, but I'm like, what were you talking about? When Black Panther came out in 2018 and the sequel came out in 2022, what were you talking about? Because it's too many folks that don't know Black Panther lore. That, for me, first of all, I'm gonna say, you know what? If that's what God got me here to do, that's what God got me here to do. But it's a wild moment for me, because more than enough of y'all talk with y'all chests out, and I'm like, no, you can't. More than enough of y'all seek to be controversial, and I'm like, no, you can't. You had one job. You had one job, and if you call yourself black this, black that, blurred this, that, then the other, your job was to educate the fan bases on Black characters. You had one job. You had one job, and you didn't even educate the fan bases on the preeminent Black character. You had one job. One. How I'm gonna go to these notes, because I might not know what I'm talking about. I might be making more than something out of nothing. So let me come back, because I don't want to act like that. I'm gonna look at these notes, because I could very well not know what I'm talking about. Let me see here. Grandma Tara says no. Not tell him says, oh, I've been knew people knew nothing about Black Panther as much mess people be talking on Twitter. I've been making a list of all the things Ryan Coogler got wrong with Black Panther, and I'm on number 46. And nobody called him on it. No, nobody called him on it. I'm like, I know how Batman fans react when somebody get Batman wrong in the cinema. I know, because I'm a Batman fan, and I ain't have to say nothing after that last Batman movie. And I'm talking about the one with Mr. Freeze in it. I walked in, and I was just this. Every Batman fan walked in was like, this cannot be what we doing. This can't be what we doing. So I'm not even gonna act like folks can't act like they don't know what we talking about. No, you being oblivious, but no, you know what we talking about. So I got a question. With all the Black comic book social media influencers out there, how is it in 2026 that when it comes to Black superheroes, the average Black comic book fan doesn't know what they should? There are people that have went to see every MCU movie with Sam Wilson in it and still don't know he from Harlem. There are people that swear up and down by X-Men 97. Black folks still believe in their heart of hearts that Aurora is from Africa. Who you been listening to? Who you been following for the past 10 years? There's knowledge out there that's lacking. Every Black person should have said something about how Lamar Hoskins got treated. Mind you, every Black veteran should have, mind you, every military veteran should have said something about how Lamar Hoskins got treated in Captain America. I'm sorry, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What Black social media comic book influencer threw a flag? And I'm not checking for me. I'm saying, who did? Who did? Because that's the problem that I'm looking at. There's too many of us out here for brothers and sisters to not know any better. And the brother and sister that goes to the MCU movies that's relying on us for information does not know any better. To the point when me and Dara pull up, they looking at us like we crazy. Me and Dara got to fight through the fact that we got grays in our hair first just to be able to relate to the younger generation. But if you are younger generation and you are out here, why you not educating? Because that ain't what it is. And I'm not saying that just for the younger generation. Oh no, it's us out here doing that too. Gen X, how and why? Make it make sense. I'm gonna keep up with these notes. It It's more about ego than actual knowledge. You right, Kimoyo. You are doing a spiritual service, educating folks on Black Panther because you are introducing a character of high morals and honor, and not the usual do what you want philosophy. Thank you, Grand Madam, and that's my goal. That is actually my goal. And we're gonna shift gears with that, but that's my goal. That's the goal. If I can educate you about this, and one of the things that I discovered, and it made me feel good, it gave me hope, was that too many, I'm not gonna say most, not gonna say all, too many brothers and sisters that went to go see Black Panther, whether they played dress up or not, they still don't know to this day. And their opinions are formed of their limited knowledge. I had somebody damn on TikTok, and they said they wish they would do a story with the female Black Panther who was a pirate. So that would have been something that they saw on, I want to say, season 5, 6, or 7 of Avengers Assemble. That would have been on Disney Plus. They wanted a story about that Panther, an anthology story, if you will. They didn't know that Panther wasn't real. And nobody had told them. That's the damnest thing. Not only did they not know the Panther didn't exist in the comics, the person also did not know, and I'm not faulting them, I'm faulting it's those of us who are, say we're the experts and everything like that. When we do our movie reviews, TV show reviews and everything, it's supposed to also be an educational piece, and it's just not regurgitating stuff. She didn't know about Queen Nahanda, did not know about Queen Turkana. I'm sitting there like, you mean I'm this, like I said, I'm not faulting the person, but I'm like, all these influencers, they got so much to say about Black Panther, especially when they mention words like misogyny and everything, and they be so fast to talk about Shorty. They don't talk about the other female Black Panthers. Here's one, because folks talk. I'm like, if you like Shorty, that's cool. She not the first female Black Panther though. And if you getting your rocks off, your jollies to her being the first female Black Panther, well, how you gonna feel if I tell you about Turkana? You should really be excited then. Don't know Queen Turkana. Don't know what she brings to Black Panther lore. Does not know her relationship to the previous Black Panther. When that character, the way I look at Queen Turkana, considering who she is, what she did, how she looks, that character right there in and of itself. I love me some Queen Nahanda, but I think Queen Turkana could move the needle more so for women, period, than Queen Nahanda. Now, Queen Nahanda is going to move it in a different way, and rightfully so. But I don't know what to say. We got Queen Turkana. So it's a wild movement for me, but I'm hoping that through educating people about these characters and everything like that, we can bridge the gap between generations. We can bridge the gap between nerds, because we've seen people go above and beyond this year to divide the nerd culture. And I'm like, we're nerds. How we doing that? Like, unless you came in with saying I'm the supervillain, if you a nerd, we all supposed to be the heroes. Like, I ain't never said, yeah, I want to be the Terminator. I want to be Deathstroke. No, I'd be Robin. I ain't never really want to be Cyborg. I ain't told y'all how I feel about that. And Mal Duncan, unless we change his sizes and everything like that. But I'm just saying, like, come on now. Come on. But moving right along, read these notes. And thank you so much, Grand Madam. Too many people follow the movies that if it's the source material. I don't even know how you do that if you got folks that are nerds saying, whenever we do our videos and everything, the movies aren't the source material, but more than enough nerds are willing to go along with that nonsense. Some of them will even say, make them explaining and excuses. Well, it ain't got to be 1 for 1. Shut up. Stop saying that. Ain't no nerd looking for 1 for 1. But damn it, you know what that, stop. It be too many of us just willing to go along and glaze stuff. And I'm like, here's the perfect example. The Wolverine video game. That's the perfect example. We should not have to explain any further what we want in a video game when it comes to Black Panther. We shouldn't have had to explain it then. We should have had to explain it then. But we shouldn't have to say any more. We shouldn't have to explain. Anybody feeling like they got to explain what they want in regards to a Black Panther video game and that Wolverine video, you just want to argue. But you should just be able to say, see Wolverine, and walk away. See, man, you up, see Wolverine. There you go, right there. I'm not going to argue with you. So more of us need to start getting on social media and spread more awareness to Black Panther lore is what you're telling me. I would say that as opposed to arguing with folks. Prime example. When I was on, and we'll shift gears right here. Prime example, I was talking about who was the Black Panther that affected slavery. Because we know we got that Black to the Future story by Reginald Hudlin, Black Panther Annual #1. And it's something myself, if you are a member of that group chat on Facebook, we be talking about it every now and then. Myself, Kimoyo, Dora, Steezle, Gray, we be in there and everything, Grand Madam, trying to figure stuff out. And it was just sitting on my mind last night. I was like, so I reached out to ChatGPT AI and I said, based on the writings that we've got canonically, comic books and Karama Horn, who would have been the Black Panther during the slave trade? It said Azuri / Shonda. Said Azuri. I was like, no, that ain't right. See how I said that real quick? Oh, no, that ain't right. Because the AI is being programmed by a human that doesn't know. It's not being programmed by a human that doesn't know, but is steadily updating it when it finds out. It is not being programmed by a human that knew as much as we did. So I'm like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. No. According to my math, T'Chaka would have been the Vietnam Black Panther. Azuri, his daddy, would have been the World War II Panther. Okay, let's look at the distance between time frame, the amount of years between World War II and World War I. Well, if we look at that time frame, World War II to World War I, then we know Imteli plays a role. Imteli should have been the Black Panther of World War II. He should have been. So who would have been the Black Panther that affected slavery? It's only 2 names. It's only 2 names. It ain't the 2. Those 2 names would be King Takanda and King Hunan. Those are the only 2. But when we look at the length of time between slavery and who had an opportunity to affect it, well, Hunan came before, make sure I say this right now. Hunan came before Takanda. So Takanda would have been young around about the end of slavery. So who would have sent warriors out to say, hey, y'all done? Now, spinning this story forward because, like I said, to me, it's Hunan. Hunan would have been that Black Panther sitting back there like this right here when they was talking to him about slavery. Now, who would he have sent out, or who would have already been out there that would have said, hey, y'all done with slavery? And the reason what made me think about it was so many people, well, I'm not going to say so many, too many people want to make fun, have a question of why didn't Wakanda do anything about slavery? I can apply real world logic to that. Not every slave wanted to be free. Stay right there. It's 2026. How many brothers and sisters keep, anyway, dancing? It's 2026, right? So if you are a king and or queen, right, of Wakanda, that's a nation. Your nation has never been conquered. Your nation has never been pure. We say in 2026, not all skin folk are kinfolk. Could you have risked it? Not only that, but Wakanda would have been going to war with the entire world. That nation would have been waging war with the entire world. You got to ask yourself, if you are the ruler of a nation, are you about that life? Knowing that even if you win, everybody who you fought for ain't coming. Everybody that you fought for ain't finna link up. No, it's gonna be more than enough people that you fought for that are going to sow your demise as the nation. Is it worth it? So when folks ask questions and everything like that, I just want you to put the real world spin on it. I just want you to put the real world spin on it. Don't put the fictional spin on it. You live in the real world. So we're not going to do that. That said, who would Hunan have had out there working on his behalf? Do we believe that Wakanda didn't have spies out in the world that were ready to act on their behalf? Do we believe that Wakanda, the most technologically advanced nation, did not have spies across the world during the Atlantic slave trade? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the Incharu Salima. the spy organization of Wakanda had a young man on TikTok say that the spy organization were the Hattusaraze. I said, no, they're not. No, they're not. They haven't been referred to as that. I said, now, what we have to do when we have these transparent conversations is both understand that we could both be wrong. As in when I was calling anti-metal anti-vibranium, I was wrong. It was never referred to that. It's called anti-metal, right? Or it's called Antarctic vibranium, but it's never been referred to as I had to admit that I was wrong. I said, young man, you're wrong. Pulled out the book. And I said, this isn't me trying to embarrass you or anything like that. This is me sharing knowledge with you. And I just put my reading glasses on and I read it to him. The Hattusaraze, the range of its agencies consists of the Hattusaraze, which is the Wakanda Secret Police, and the Incharu Salima, the Wakanda Spy Network. He said he didn't know. Fine. He don't know. He don't know. He not the one claiming to be the Black Panther expert. He not. My question would be, where were the Black Panther experts prior to June 10th, 2026? Why he don't know? Not why he don't know, why he hasn't been taught any better. Because I'm pretty sure I wasn't the first person he talked to about Black Panther. I'm probably not the first person he talked to about Black Panther in regards to the Hattusaraze. Why he just not getting his knowledge leveled up? That is the problem with all of our Black superheroes, if you ask me. There are way too many of us that while we do not mind talking about them, we're very, very reluctant, slow, hesitant, whatever you want to call it, to educate folks about these characters. We just want to be known for talking about them. Well, what does it mean to be known for talking about them if you ain't telling folks about them? That's how we get this nonsense that we get on the big screen. That's how we get Black actors, certified Black actors, always capping for the white character, because ain't nobody talking. Ain't nobody saying nothing. That's crazy. Me and Daryl just got here. That's crazy. That's crap. That's BS. Because if we don't represent the Black characters, who will? That's crazy. I'm looking at folks. I'm like, ooh, we need to watch who we running behind. We need to watch who we running behind. I said something today. I said, I came in with Batman. I like Bruce. I do. I have a problem knowing more about Bruce than I know about any black superhero. That bothers me on the inside. I know why I know more about Bruce. I know why, because it's always right there in front of my face. The black superheroes I got to go find. But that was my issue with DC. So, because you can get off your behind and go find the black superheroes. They sit right there. You got to get up and go get them, but they do sit right there. Other than that, they just gonna keep them same heroes in your face all day, every day, twice on Sunday. And if you don't know how to unplug and go get you some well, you ain't ever got to worry about characters of color being represented properly on the big screen and or the small screen and or the comic books. You ain't got to worry about it. They know you don't know no better. Diabolical. There you go, Diabolical. So I don't know why they can't just do right by T'Challa and his mythos. It would take us though. If the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blurs ain't gonna speak and educate on T'Challa, well, who else we looking to do it? Because they blurs, and just because they call themselves blurs, folks clocking in. Or if they call themselves black, folks clocking in. But if they're not going to do it, who are we looking to do it? And it's evident they haven't done it. If they've attempted to do it, cool. It ain't been effective. But evidently, it ain't been done. It's either it ain't been done or it hasn't effectively been done. But there are way too many of us that know more about white characters than we know about black characters. Somebody has got to pick that torch up and say, you know what? I'm going to make it my responsibility to educate people on the black characters. And I'm looking at us and I'm like, somebody got to talk to me like I'm in the 3rd grade. I can pull up any YouTube channel right now. And if we're talking about this versus or nerd science type stuff, I'm going to get Batman. I'm going to get the Justice League. I'm going to get Superman. I'm going to get the Avengers. I'm going to get the Hulk. I'm going to get Thor. I'm going to get T'Challa. I'm going to get Luke Cage. I'm going to get Blade. I may get Storm. We're going to stop right there. Now, mind you, here's the problem. They don't know their powers. So you got these videos sitting out there, everybody clicking and viewing, watching, and they're taking these cats at their word. And their word, they're getting the power set wrong for the black superheroes. They're not checking for them like that. I know because I watched them videos and I will check the comments to see who knew what they were talking about. And it's more than enough people telling them, you don't know Aurora's power set, you don't know Luke's power set, you know. So it's folks out there that know. But that's the speck of dust, if you will. That's the little speck. The soldier amongst the many that know what's going on while everybody else does not. Mind you, you can say it in the comment section. The person is not going to highlight the video. They'll like it. They're not going to adjust the video. And when they portray them characters again, they're not going to remember what you said about their power grade. Thus, you still have a plethora of people being miseducated on black superheroes, which is crazy because that should not be a thing. Not when it's too many blurs out there. It's too many blurs out there and too many black comic book this, black comic book that. It's too much of that out there for that to be a thing. Yeah, it is. So somebody got to pick it up. I'm doing what I can, but like I told you today, I don't know everything. I carry, my brother Daryl carries, the Rock With Me Nation. By and large, we carry the torch of all things Wakanda. That's what we carry the torch for. Now, we can expand our role, but if we got to expand our role to cover the other damn superhero, I'm sorry, who just finished writing Storm? I got the Rep Aurora too. I'm sorry, who just interviewed the writer from Storm? I should not be able to say in 2026 that Storm is originally from Harlem and folks be like, yeah, I didn't know that. You mean the writer from? You mean the creator of X-Men '97 didn't tell you why he was over there on Twitter losing his cookies? He didn't say. No, man. I would have thought he would have said something. So let me see here. The Jada, Hunan, I settled on Hunan, big dog. I figured he would have been the one that would have been the oldest during the slave trade. So, but then again, I could be wrong. See how we do that? What is going on? Diabolical Nerd. Yeah, we got a special segment headed with your name wrapped all the way around it, Diabolical. We need to make our time scale for each Panther's time as ruler. We need Mosi, Azudi, and T'Chaka, but we need the rest. The thing is not telling them is how long did they live? And that would be something we would be created because we know how Mosi passed away. It's right there. We don't know how Bashinga passed away. We don't know how Negus passed away. We don't know how Turkana passed away. We don't know how Mamadou Fall passed. We don't know what happened to King. Well, we know King Zentra, but you see, like we would literally be writing those how they passed away. So it'd be up to us, which as a Black Panther fan group, we don't mind, just as long as folks understand that's going to be canon when we do it. It would be up to us to say how old each Panther was when they passed. It would be up to us to determine whether or not that Panther fell in battle as an actual Black Panther, or did they fall in battle as a backup to the Black Panther? That would be on us because we see what Marvel got going on. They're not pressed. And Ryan gonna tell his story. Speaking of Ryan Coogler, speaking of Ryan, shout out to Variety Magazine. You know they keep their stuff. We need to make our own time scale. Hold on. Natello says, I would love to have a story where Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass were Wakanda spy. That's where I was going in regards to the Incharo Salima, because it would just make sense. It would make sense that Harriet Tubman was from Wakanda. It would make sense that Nat Turner was from Wakanda. It just would make sense if you wrote them in as like, hey, they were actually from Wakanda. That would hit and be a better story. Something that Marvel could definitely sink their teeth into. And I think with us seeing Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, stories like Philadelphia and everything like that, we've been prepped for actual historical figures to be fictionalized, if you will. So yeah, I'm right there with you, not tell him I am. He say here for Ryan the Black Reaper. Cool, Lord Jesus have mercy. So Variety Magazine, you can research it. I'm like that pastor because I know folks can be like, you lying. Well, I could be, but then again, you go research it yourself. They didn't have a relationship before Black Panther. Variety Magazine, I shared that article. They didn't know each other before 2015. When Chadwick found out that Ryan had been assigned the Black Panther movie. Okay. So he knew Chadwick better than his family did. And I had somebody want to still say that on TikTok. I'm like, stop. Now you're projecting. You're projecting your family issues onto his family. No. Far as we know, all we know about him and his relationship with his family, he had a loving family. He had the nuclear family, if you will. So no, we're gonna stop entertaining that trash, that nonsense that the cast and crew knew him better than his mom and his daddy and his two brothers. No, when it was all said and done, there's only one person knew him before that project. It was Michael B. Jordan. And Chadwick was a whole grown ass man while Mike was still a kid. So yeah, that right there. But yeah, that lie does not need to be embraced. That lie does not need to be adhered to. No. That's a lie. And anybody want to keep saying that, you need to ask them what the relationship is with their family. I'm guessing it's a struggle. I'm guessing it's a struggle because ain't nobody sitting up here capping for that. Also, in regards to Ryan Coogler and specifically one Marvel Aya Daily, I asked, Grant, I asked this question specifically last week. I'm gonna ask it again. We got the lovely Grand Madam Tarot here. When I thought about having a child, I never thought about having a child out of wedlock. That was never my goal. That was not my dream. That was not my ambition. I got 2 black men, one from Africa, one from America, and they literally put that on Front Street. So, and are they asking the black women first? Because I want to see how the black woman views her because Aurora represents a black woman, whether we talking African black, American black. Nakia represents a black woman, whether we talking African black, American black. I got a question, and I don't want don't duck, don't run, don't dodge. We ain't playing dodgeball. No, when you think about conceiving a child, is it when you have that thought cross your mind, are you telling me honestly you don't see the father in the picture? Because I got 2 black men that I got more than enough black folks glazing, saying that's what the black woman wants, because that's what they keep putting out there for the black woman. Really? If I'd have thought anybody would have been going off on that nonsense, it would have been the black woman. Stop putting me out here with a child by my damn self, because that's men. That's men. That's not women. That ain't Dr. Eve Ewing. That ain't Cheryl Lynn Eaton. That ain't Karama Horn. That ain't Roxanne Gay. That's black men making that decision for black women. That's black men deciding the child fatherless representation for black women. I need a black woman to talk to me. I need a black woman to talk to me, because that ain't ever been a vision of mine. And the dudes that I kick the bobo with, those of us that we ain't never thought of it like that. Woman say she pregnant from us, we like, oh Lord, I probably gonna turn in this player's card now, boy. Look. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. I would also like a story where Wakanda assisted in Liberia and Ethiopia not being colonized by Europeans. That's a possible story. That is a very possible story when you can put the twist on it, because as I said today, that's the lick. Being able to tell a period piece with a black superhero. You're going to struggle to do it. And you would. You can have the best intentions. Okay, pause. Real life scenario. We got black superheroes going around in the 60s. What we doing? Right. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. The damnest thing is we got T'Challa Wakanda. That's a fictional character, a fictional nation. We finna sit up here and act like it's their fault slavery was a thing. We don't want to talk about, so were no American superheroes around? We gonna put it all on Wakanda. What about the Rawhide Kid? What about the Rawhide Kid? What about the two-gun kid? They wasn't around back then? What about the Lone Ranger? What about Zorro? We just gonna put all this on? Oh, no. We need to ask what was going on with the American superheroes during slavery and during the civil rights era. Wasn't Steve Rogers around back then? What about Toro and the Human Torch? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Stop. I need us to stop being sheep. Stop being sheep and being led. Before we start turning this thing, looking back at T'Challa. Oh, no. Let's look back at these heroes that was right here in America. The Fantastic Four been around since the 60s. What the hell y'all got going on? It might be Queen Denali. Say Queen. Hold on. Azuri's wife. World War II. Good looking. yeah, so I'm gonna say moving right along because I ain't gonna belabor the point on that. Clearly, ladies, I don't listen. I'm not a woman. I do have I got a wife, and she said that wasn't her thought. She didn't think about the baby without the child. She thought the baby would come with the child. I ain't never thought about being the father without the mother there. But hey, you know, ladies, y'all gotta let me know. Moving right along. Hasbro Pulse. They had 2 fan streams this week. One yesterday, one the day before yesterday. It was Monday, and they had one today. Hey, yeah. Did you see it? I was. I wasn't. I'm trying to make that. I wasn't. I wasn't blown away. Imanla, hold on. Kimoyo said Imanla. Mario wanted the father to be Logan, but when we told him hell no, he decided to be petty and make it no father at all. I don't listen. That's saying a lot. I don't know what your friend base is and everything like that, but I'm like, just first and foremost, I don't know why. We've heard Mr. Smith, we've heard Grand Madam Tarot, and we've heard D Real. I would say that Mr. Smith is old enough to be his daddy, his father, if you will. Grand Madam Tarot will be old enough to be his mother. Dara will be old enough to be his older brother. What book has he read that they ain't read for him to form a baseless opinion like he did in regards to her attraction with Logan? What book did he read they didn't read where it's established that Aurora and Jean are like sisters? What has transpired in his life where if I'm close to someone like I'm their sibling, I'm going to also be physically intimate with someone they are in love with? Like, I need somebody to make that to make sense to me. What life experiences you got where that's a thing? Also, what life experiences do you have in which you can clearly see in your comic book company the lack of Black love, and you go above and beyond to make that number even worse? Like, you looking in the mirror, and I'm saying to myself, when you look in the mirror, I know you see who you see. I know you see who you see. So when you look in the mirror and you see you don't see. Make it make sense to me, because I can like Bruce all day long. I like Bruce, but I'm not gonna force. See what I'm doing here? I'm not gonna force Bruce into a relationship with a Black woman just to say Bruce been with a Black woman. That's not what we doing. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I see what folks did in the Justice League International, Unlimited. I get it. I understand it. But I ain't never checked for John to be with Sarah. I'm not checking for that. Bring back Carter. There is a whole sister over here, interplanetary, if you will. Used to be his adversary. He can't get with her. I, I ain't mad at multi-ethnic love and everything like that, but can I get me first? We already got multi-ethnic love with Luke and Jessica, and we got a child from that. Can I get me first? That's all. And you folks that work at them big two, regardless of what their ethnicity, race, gender, orientation is, they act like you asking for hell to freeze over. I'm still trying to figure out. I can give you all the compliments in the day in the world. Why did you break up Adam Brashear and Monica Rambeau? because that just came out of left field. I could have swore this comic book was about Photon. I didn't even know Adam would go show up in the damn comic book, physically or just by name mention. Yeah, here we go. We got to make sure she ain't with Adam by issue 1. Who said that? Who sent that edict down? Hey, break them two up. Okay, well, who you finna put her with? Who you finna put Adam with? We finna have some more interracial love, or we gonna get Adam with a black woman and we gonna get Monica with a black man? What we doing? Because Brother Voodoo sit right there. Brother Voodoo sit right there. Eden Fessy sit right there. Sink sit right there. Darwin sit right there. Oh, my bad. The X-Men editor said, the writers, 2 of them are black. The writer said, we don't have enough non-viable black X-Men. You know what Tom Brevoort did? Tom Brevoort spoke for the black writers at Marvel no differently than Donald Trump spoke about Stephen A. Smith. You see what winds up happening? You want to sit up here and tell folks this dude is fair. Meanwhile, everybody in that moment see this dude as one of the worst editors when it comes to Marvel Comics. Glaze him, and he gets you going in 5. Now that's M. Tellywhite. Yeah, on that G.I. Joe feed, man. I looked at it. I can say this with the utmost sincerity. There was nothing on that G.I. Joe fan stream that beat what Bobby hit us up with months ago. I'm sorry. There was nothing that they did on that fan stream that was more exciting than what came in that case. It wasn't. That box that I got Valorant, oh no, they ain't have nothing. Mind you, that fan stream wasn't as good as what Bobby just talked about a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm baffled, mystified. G.I. Joe has a library of characters. Bobby ain't got that library. He don't. He's having to create his library. No differently than with Marvel Legends. They got a library. That ain't what the fans asking for. It's not. On either side of the house, G.I. Joe Classified or Marvel Legends. How they getting that wrong? To where the interest in their line, and we're going to shift gears. Move. Bass was just growling at the door. Yeah. Anyway. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with them, because it's if Hasbro isn't your favorite action figure line today, did they ever used to be? If G.I. Joe Classified isn't your favorite line today, did it used to be? Do you have a favorite action figure line? That's a fair question. Do you have a favorite action figure line? Do you have a worse action figure line? Or do you just collect action figures? All those are loaded questions. All those are loaded questions and rhetorical. If you want to share, absolutely. But nobody asked for the Hypno Hustler. Nobody asked for the Hypno Hustler. And if I want to make the Hypno Hustler look right, I got to go get my Funkadactyl action figures, you know, the girls and everything. I gotta go get my Funkadactyl action figures for that to even look right. But they ain't really, is it me? Because how you release an absorbing man with no absorbing abilities? How you release Cypher, but you ain't got Warlock on his right arm? Like the quality control. You did the Jean Grey from X Factor, have no yellow boots. Like what we, and then we going into, was that Ratchet, the dude, we get the vehicle, and we already got an action figure. There were no other Joes you want to release that hadn't been released yet. Meanwhile, over there at Valiverse, like I'm sorry. I'm gonna get with these notes. Y'all help me, because I don't know. Nah, that G.I. Joe feed suck. All right, listen. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, thank you for not making me feel bad for not spending no money. Because that's what I was looking at. I was like, I might be finna, because I don't, it say Action Man. Y'all like Action Man? I know somebody gonna be like, man, that look like a nice figure. Yeah, I guess. I don't know how to tell you that, but you look on my wall, I'm done spending money on characters, action figures that don't. But hey, maybe back in the day when Action Man first came out, but not today. not today. I'm the Action Man in my household. Dadgummit. I'm the Action Man in my household. What else we got going on here and everything? It's 7:43. We are 13 minutes, or at very least 10 minutes, 23, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, past the hour time frame. So switching gears real quick, y'all have seen photos that I've been posting recently on the channel. Those come from Debryne Graphics. Asked me to do a photo shoot last Wednesday. He know what look he was going for, hence the black and gold outfit. The photos aren't for self-serving purposes. They are not. Y'all know we have discussed for the longest time that in regards to getting the knowledge out there in regards to Black Panther, we had to take the microphone. We had to take the microphone. Too many people using T'Challa to come up, Black Panther to come up, Shorty to come up. Hell, I'll even go so far as too many people using Chadwick Boseman's name to come up. I think Daryl and I said that back in the when they had that off panel meeting and everything like that, that microphone got to be snatched away. They don't know what they're talking about. They just want to get rich off the character. Well, I can see how much the character means to KG based on the photos that he took, the work that went into the photos after they were taken. The words that my wife has attached to some of the photos, I'm encouraging her to do that again and again, and shout out to her. The work that she's been doing, she's been asked to do business cards for people. And one of them is a tax consultant, wanted from another state, reached out to Leisha on TikTok, say, hey, I'm noticing your work. Can you do some business cards for me? And even want her to do a poster card. I had never heard of a poster card before. So shout out to my wife for that one. But I wanted the pictures, or at the very least, the meaning from the pictures to be that there is, this character means something to a person, to a people, to a group, to an organization. And this person is dedicated toward getting that knowledge out there. And as Grand Madam was alluding to earlier, if we can get more of us to know what Wakanda, Black Panther, represents, we can use that to effect real change in our community. And that's one of the things that I feel like Derek was alluding to when he was talking about the comfortability in which people are used to seeing us be this way, but not used to seeing us that way. That makes people uncomfortable, even us, because we're being looked at, asked to do something different. We're looking, asking for people to see us different, and they're having to look at themselves like, this ain't what I thought. Well, if you embrace the Edict of Wakanda, not the MCU version, and not that trash that John Ridley gave, but if you embrace what a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby tried to give you back in the day, a Don McGregor was trying to give you, a Peter B. Gillis was trying to give you, a Christopher Priest, because I really think, I don't think he knows. Like, I think he knows, but I really don't think somebody has sat down and said, do you know what you did? Do you know what you created? Did you take it for granted? I think folks have a tendency to come in sometimes and just be hot without coming in and being fair. And then I also think there are too many writers that, while they have no problem accepting all the praise and accolades that come with their work when it's warranted, they do have a problem accepting the constructive criticism when their work warrants it. If you can take the compliments, you can take the constructive criticism. If I can give you a constructive criticism, I should also be able to give you a compliment. Right. So that's that there. I don't think, but when you look at what these writers have given us, Reginald Hutland, Jonathan Mayberry, David Liss, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Dr. Eve Ewing, Cheryl Lynn Eaton, hell, even Brian Hill with the Ultimate Run. They've given you some decent writings in regards to the character. And that character is someone who considers every move they are about to make. That is a character that is considerate, point blank, period. That is a character who does not need the world, who will fend for himself, for his nation, and for those he loves. That character carries himself with a certain amount of respect, a certain type of respect, regality, if you will. And while he doesn't command it from people, you're going to watch how you talk to him. No, we don't want that out there. I would prefer to have T'Challa talking, listening to T'Challa talk, than listening to Stephen A. Smith talk. Let that marinate. I would rather listen to the fictional character than listen to the real man. The fictional character ain't ever been as stupid as the real man. And that's with somebody writing the fictional character. The real man, while he's had education on his side, even went to a 4-year institution, is just as dumb as a box of bricks. I said what I meant. I meant what I said. That said, we almost up out of here. The Rock With Me Nation, a diabolical masterpiece. Yeah. I like that right here. A diabolical masterpiece. Let me see something right here. A diabolical masterpiece. I like that right there. I like that right there. Let me see here. Go here. Get me right here. Give me hold on, y'all. Hold on. Got my phone. Got my sound device turned up and everything like that. Let me get on in here. Turn the microphone. Rock with me, nation.
with me, nation. We here in the flame. D.O.B.N.D. real, the historians reign. Old wisdom, new power. We carry that thread. Write it in the dust and the stones we read. Kimoyo King moves with the royal guard. Make Kent keep it sharp, make the whole thing hard. Grand Madam Tarot, see the pet before eyes. Mr. Raceman, speak truth. No disguise. These Steezle in the cut with the steel cold wave. Anasi got the web, pull lies to the grave. Juju bring the heat. Vicky bring grace. Funny J got a grin that can light up the place. Hear that call, feel that beat. Every soul on the same street. Black Panther on the rise. Foreign X in the zone. Paul Martin hold it down. Make it still feel home. Diabolical nerve. The cold and the crown. There's statics in the mix. Let me break it down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Man, all right. All right. All right. All right, Diabolical. All right, dog. Listen, if you can't get crunk to that, I don't know what the, especially when they hit the hook, rock with me nation. It just make you just want to stand through, just run through the wall. You got the power fist up and everything like that. You're like, who wants some? Who want the rock with me nation? Boy, look. Come on now. Come on now. Like, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. Like, you couldn't talk, man, you couldn't tell me this. You got Kimoyo Customs. You got Diabolical out there. Make it do what it gonna do and everything like that. You got Debryne graphics. You couldn't, that's a nation. That's a nation. That's a nation right there. Not being stagnant, making moves, and it's all about Black representation. Oh man. Oh man. You ain't got to know everything. You ain't got to know everything. You ain't got to do everything. All y'all have to do is just be like-minded. Understand what the goal is at the end of the day. Stay focused on that goal. And I want to say, I know I say it every so often, but I absolutely do mean it. To my brother Daryl and Kimoyo, y'all said something a while ago. And I wish more and more of us could take something from it. Stop arguing, folks. Stop arguing, folks. If I've learned nothing else over the past few weeks, there are less people that know what I know than those that do. And those that don't know will never know what I know as long as I'm arguing with somebody who don't care. I ain't got time. We behind the 8 ball, y'all. I don't know if I can stress this, if I can say this any better. We started rocking with these heroes when we was kids. These heroes have not, by and large, have not grown. They remain stagnant as we've gotten older. We do not have time to argue with folks that don't care. As I said today, I'll say it again. It bothers me to know more about a character that does not look like me than a character that does. And I'm talking whether that's Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, any damn thing. Othello sit right there. Aaron the Moor sits right there. There's no way. I understand it. I get it. Propaganda is real. And folks are more than happy to sit them in front of you all day, every day, twice on Sunday, while telling you you can never be them, wanting to subconsciously program you to not be able to do without them. They don't want you to be able to do without them. They do not want you to see yourselves outside of them. That's why they keep our actors portraying characters that look like them, because as long as we ain't got to worry about our characters adding any flavor, any of our actors adding any flavor to the characters that look like us, to a degree, that means we're going to always see ourselves in them. And that's a recipe for disaster when you see yourself in somebody who doesn't care about you like that. I'm not saying most, not saying all, but there's a certain percentage, a certain demographic, a certain number. They want you to kneel to them, bow down to them, pray to them, learn from them, and lust for them while they see no value in you. Well, then we don't need to be doing all that then. Don't need to be doing all that. If all you see in me is a football player and nothing else, then you see no value in me. If all you see in me is a basketball player, then you see no value in me. I'm a human just like you are, and I refuse to be treated any differently going forward. And that is the message that we can send by educating people on these characters. And it start with the top dog, T'Challa. I ain't saying, I'm just saying, listen, I'm out. Thank y'all so much. Rock with me, nation. Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Didn't know where we would started going, what we, we knew there was a calling on the table. And that calling was to educate people on T'Challa, understanding that if you educate people on T'Challa, they grow and they love him. And I'm gonna borrow something from Nate Moore. To get you to fall in love with the rest of the Black characters, I need to get you to fall in love with T'Challa. That's the pathway. If I get you to see value in him, you will see value in the rest of them, regardless of where they come from. Well, that's going to be what that's going to be. That's the mission. For me to educate you on the value of T'Challa and use T'Challa as a way to get you closer to other Black characters, as a way to getting you to see the hero, not the villain, not the bad guy, not the thug, not the hoodlum, not the b-boy. No, T'Challa gets you to see the hero in you like you've seen the hero in everybody else. That's the mission statement. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm out. Like, share, subscribe. This has been fun. I'm finna go chill out. Grandman will say that's a recipe for subjugation all day, every day, twice on Sunday. I'm consciously aware of it, and I'm consciously combating it. That's why we see so much chocolate, and that's why we tell the Rock With Me Nation, get it for yourself, because you got to be woke for this here. You got to be woke 24/7 for this here. Listen, like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna do this again. My brother Daryl's deep dive actually came earlier today, so if you missed it, it is over there on his channel. If you are in the 850 and you need those types of photos taken, holla at my brother KG, Kevin Debryne Graphics and everything. Grand Madam Tarot did just do a live today. She did. So if you missed that reading, you do that. Check that out. My brother Kimoyo, Great and D Steezle, they stay busy with the renders. All right, they stay busy with it. That said, in the meantime, in between time till next time, this has been a great time. We do this every Wednesday. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. We didn't got stuck. When I say whatever, whatever reason, we didn't got stuck where we at. I don't know if YouTube is pumping the channel anymore. I don't know. Still a Black Panther channel. It is what it is. Tell somebody that tells somebody, him or her that can tell somebody, so we can keep the channel flowing and everything like that. Like, share, subscribe. It's free. It's well how we pay bills around here. In the meantime, in between time till next time, remember the late great Don Cornelius. Chat with Aaron Bozeman. Right. Till next time, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and soul. We out.